Hey, this is Mike, your friendly bipolar blonde that's off his meds. Hello to y'all. I hope you're doing okay. Let me try to hold this phone better. There we go. I do recover the microphone. Um, a friend one time told me about he was spending the night at a another friend's house down here in Green Pond. Um, I think this happened in the 70s. Uh, Probably the mid 70s, somewhere around there. But it came up a storm, a bad one. I mean, it was pouring down, thundering and lightning, and all of a sudden, at the side of the house, um, they had a front exit and a side exit. It was right there at the side exit. I guess hunkered down by the stairs. I don't know, but this thing started hollering, and he described it as having a growl and a howl that was mixed together. I mean, it was scaring the adults. Um, I forget how long it lasted, but it lasted a good while. It's like if that was a Bigfoot, then this particular Bigfoot was scared of lightning and stuff and all. But anyway, that's all I know about that. From what I can remember, it's been years since he told me. I just remembered it. Um, it seemed like some of them folks out there had a tree house also. And the guy was telling me about this. I think he was spending the night in the tree house with him one time. And, it's up in a tree, and something down below, something hairy walked under it. I mean, it just walked on by. I mean, I don't reckon it messed with him or anything. And I remember Dad chasing something out of the yard. He thought it was the neighbor because the neighbor was kind of big. And, the footsteps, it was like it was stomping when it was running. Big old heavy footfalls that you could hear. And my dad had, I don't know how he negotiated all that. He had the shotgun. I think it was an Ithaca 37 Featherlight pump. I wish I kept that thing. But, you you just hold the trigger down and pump the handle. And it was fire as quick as you could pump the handle. He had that, his 22 pistol, and like I said, a flashlight. I think he fired the pistol, all 6 shots, and 2 or 3 shots out of the shotgun, and that thing was getting it down through there. I don't know. I mean, Dad would have been in trouble if it was the neighbor, and he hit him just for being on his property. I mean, as far as I know, but I really think that was a Bigfoot. We've had issues with stuff in the yard like that in the 70s and the 80s. But it got where it wouldn't come around, because anytime we heard a noise in the woods, Dad's the one that started it, and I would do the same, I mean, we'd fire down through there. I got a 22 automatic one time. I dow, 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 shooting down through there and stuff, and Bigfoot knew not to come around. He's like, now, them people, they're crazy. I think we were a little bit, as far as gun safety was, which, I got a little bit safer with guns later on, I mean, I forget. Oh, I ain't told the story about the time I shot myself, have I? Yeah, that's an upload right there, I think. I'll have to check, make sure I ain't done it. But anyway, There was a I found some stuff about a wild man around Tanny Hill, which ain't far from here. You know, Tanny Hill State Park. I don't think it's a state park anymore. Um, and some of the kin folks that my sister-in-law was married to, he don't live on the property anymore. This particular guy, but he was down there at the old barn, and which has been rotted down or torn down or whatever now. And I guess he heard a noise of something, and something jumped off the top of the barn and jumped down on him, and then took off running. You know, so it might have been that wild man, or it might have been Bigfoot. You know, in the old days, they called Bigfoot a wild man. That was just a name, you know, for Bigfoot, you know, back in the 1800s, you know. Trying to think if there's any other things going on around here. You know, I did that upload about my friend that saw that Bigfoot or whatever it was across the road from here, which, you know, it's houses now. They put a subdivision out there. That was TCI land, and TCI started selling some of it off, along with another feller. Well, his kids anyway, after he died. Yeah, and they put a subdivision out here. As far as I know, it's TCI land. That was also where the first ball field was in Green Pond before they moved it to where it is now, on Bibb County 12, Gray Hill Road. But yeah, over there, my parents used to take me over there. It was like a field, and people had a big, gigantic garden over there, and they had plum trees, blackberry bushes, and all that. One time, me and a friend accidentally set that on fire. We was teenagers, and we was experimenting with pot, and we done got high, and well, anyway, somehow or another, we had started a fire, you know, while lighting a joint with matches and stuff and all, and well, little big fire got started beside us, you know, and we was like, fire, you know, and we was laughing, you know, kind of making fun of it, so small, and then all of a sudden it got bigger, you know, and we couldn't stope it out, or we was too high to stope it out, but we wasn't too high to run. We hit the tracks, went on up a mile or so, and cut across, and time we got over at a friend's house, you could see the smoke from out there. You know, we was pretty good ways off, you know. And we went back, and there was people doing, well, they was doing trenches or something, you know, trying to stop it and all. And they stopped it, and we never got in trouble for it. Thank God. We should have, I guess. You know, we need some accountability in our lives, I reckon. But that all grew back so green and plush. I mean, it looked good after that. But, you know, we shouldn't have done that. But blackberry bushes came back, and I know I'd get off work and I'd go over there and eat me a mess of blackberries, and I'd get some nasty ones sometimes, you know, and I'd be talking to the Lord, you know, about how He makes things delicious and stuff and all, and I'd be like, "Ooh, that's a nasty one, Lord. That must have been rotten," you know. And like I said, I'm a blonde, and so I didn't realize what was going on. But I started seeing these stink bugs on them, and I I finally understood. 2 or 3 times I done ate a blackberry that had a stink bug on it. And, ooh, uh, you ain't tasted nasty till you bite into a stink bug. Let me tell you, that's awful. Don't do it. Trust me. I look at them now. I look at both sides. I don't just pick them off the vine and pop them in my mouth, as fast as I can. I look at them. I look them over. And I ain't had that problem since. I've had stink bugs fly in my vehicle and stuff, like when I'm gardening, especially at the Jim Walter number 3 mines. They get in there and I don't know, they just keep me company, I'd hear them bzzz, and then they stop and I'd look, see what it was. I was like, oh, that was you, old Stinky, yeah. I just leave them alone. They don't do no harm or anything. There's a lot of bugs like that. A lot of them, what we used to call locusts, that would leave their hole on a pine tree or something. I don't see those anymore. But what they do, they'd hatch out, will come out of their skin. And they'd be big black bugs, but they won't hurt you or anything. In Birmingham, believe it or not, they had those at the store I used to work at. A kangaroo on Robert Jemison Road. We called it the Danger Roo because it had bullet holes inside of the store. I think that's where a fella was unalived. But anyway, they'd get in the store sometimes and dive down towards the people at cash register, and they'd scream and holler, and I'd get a ladder and get them off the lights when they get up there and stuff, and I'd find them in the parking lot. They was good bugs. If they was on their backs, I'd just put my finger on them, and they'd latch their feet onto my finger, and I'd take them over to the side because people, they love to step on them. And they didn't do any harm. They made a certain noise at night. I don't know if I can mimic it. I think it was like that. I can't do it like them. But it was, I ain't talking about cicadas that go where I work now at Belk in Tuscaloosa, I'd get a big one on top of my windshield, and I'd be running my air conditioner, and my front window would be fogged up. I don't even want to use my windshield wipers unless I get him off, but, I try not to bother him, he's a big old cicada, and like I said, they don't do any harm. They just make a pretty noise like those others and stuff, there's a lot of bugs I don't mess with. They're just God's little creatures, and he's got them there for a reason. But a lot of them won't hurt you, even though you might think they will, And they say the most poisonous spider of all is a granddaddy longlegs. But, they won't hurt you. I used to play with them things when I was little and play with crickets. I like the sound of crickets too. I know I was working out there at that concrete jungle, I call it, Mercedes out there one time, and I heard a cricket start, making its noise, and that made me feel good. I'm not kidding you. I think I was kind of depressed, in a bad mood, and it made me feel good just to hear that cricket. I must be a country boy or something, because I don't like a whole lot of concrete around me, I like, I like to see trees and stuff, and, just regular dirt. Me and a friend went to Crossroads one time in Mississippi, a bar out there. a friend of mine was playing. Well, a friend of ours is playing out there, and we went to see them. And coming back in the daytime, I didn't see a lot of trees there in Starkville, and I was getting depressed till we got out of there. You know, I mean, it's kind of strange, a town that doesn't have any trees, but man, that was back in that's back in '87. Maybe they got some now. I don't know. I mean, maybe a tornado came through and wiped out all the trees, and they had to rebuild. Who knows? I know the big tornado burnt Tuscaloosa. There's sections of it that, you know, I don't recognize compared to the way it used to be when I used to hang around out there and walk around and stuff. Because, you know, my first wife was in the hospital down there, and when it was at visiting time, I didn't stay in my room. I got out. I walked around day or night. And back then, nobody messed with me. I think the only thing that ever happened was one night, late at night, I was walking down McFarland Boulevard, and some woman in a car, probably a car full of teenage girls, one of them yelled out, "Hey, baby!" And, you know, I mean, I don't think they really liked me or anything, you know, they just, you know, was joking around or something. But that's all that ever happened to me, you know, I mean, it could be the Lord was keeping, you know, the riffraff away from me, you know, and I thank him for that, you know. But anyway, I'm going to listen to this video, make sure I don't double up on anything. I want to mention that in another video, I said that I almost started to say I've never seen a Bigfoot before, but I have. But then I was like, well, I ain't never seen a dog man. I think is what I said, one of these recent uploads that wasn't music. I just want to share the music I like with y'all, you know, and some movie clips of movies I like. But anyway, really, I don't know if I seen a dog man or not. I uploaded a video, did I see a dog man? Which I thought I may have, but I don't know for sure. But that's what it seemed like it was. But I know I've seen a Bigfoot. But I can't really say I know I've seen a dog man. And so it's not registered in my mind that I have. But I wasn't trying to lie to y'all. I'm just telling you how I think and stuff, you know, and how it registers in my mind. You know, it locks in. But if I got a little bit of doubt there, it doesn't lock in real good, you know. Okay, well, that's about it, I reckon. I done gone too long. Probably ain't going to get too many people watch this one because it's already past 18 minutes. Okay, well, y'all have a good one out there, and I'll see you later. All right, bye.